Once upon a recent time, in an ever-spinning world of commerce and connection, there dwelled our protagonist, Alex, traditional in her work ethos, ambitious in her strides, a mid-level marketing manager tucked comfortably in the predictable routine of her office cubicle. Her workspace, littered with sticky notes and a coffee cup that had seen better days, stood as a testament to the conventional, bustling 9-to-5 life. But then, as if forewarned by an ancient prophecy, a global event reverberated across continents, shattering the very foundations of what work denoted. A pandemic, unyielding and blind to social creed, unfurled its tendrils, ushering in a surge of work-from-home opportunities that would remodel the tapestry of professional paradigms. This storm didn't knock on doors, it barged in, uninvited, and it was here that our hero, Alex, stood at a precipice of change, her view of traditional labor suddenly antiquated in the wake of epidemic-induced enlightenment. Alongside our hero, a cast of characters emerges, each embodying the multifaceted aspects of this new era. They represent the mentors and sages, the trials and boons, the adversaries and allies in the landscape of remote work. There's Taylor, the seasoned digital nomad, whose wisdom and experience in telecommuting shall light the path where office lights no longer gleam. Jordan, the tech-savvy coworker, whose knack for navigating virtual collaboration tools becomes an indispensable compass. Together, they form a fellowship in this narrative of evolution, the children of a digital revolution seeking to rewrite the rules of engagement in the workforce. But this tale isn't just about change, it's about growth, resilience, and the indomitable human spirit. It's about a journey forward, a quest not just for survival but for thriving in the virtually connected constellation of screens and software. As we embark on this journey with Alex, be prepared to delve into unfolding chapters laden with discovery, metamorphosis, and the endless quest for balance between the realms of career and the sanctity of home. This is more than a story of shifting job landscapes, it's an epic odyssey through the hero's journey of recovery, as our protagonist navigates the uncharted waters of working from home, a voyage that promises immense challenges yet unparalleled prospects in the digital age. The dawn of the remote work revolution arrived as a tempest, unbidden and transformative. The world, its inhabitants ensnared by the mundanity of their routines, faced a cataclysmic shift as a pandemic of proportions unwritten in modern lore encircled the globe. Amidst this chaos and uncertainty, our unsuspecting hero, Alex, stood as the epitome of traditional work culture, her life anchored to the steady ebb and flow of office tides. The catalyst, remote work revolution. As the world was cloaked in the silence of lockdowns, Alex glimpsed her firmly held beliefs of work begin to unravel. The once bustling office corridors echoed empty, and from the ashes of commuting and conference rooms arose the phoenix of the remote work revolution, a phenomenon reshaping not just where we labor, but how we perceive the act of labor itself. Initially, Alex resisted, the walls of her home closing in as though mocking her discomfort with their newfound multipurpose. Yet, in the face of adversity, she found resilience. Driven by the instinct of necessity, our hero channeled her skepticism into action, molding a corner of her living abode into an office sanctuary. In the soft glow of a computer screen, Alex embarked upon a digital journey, the power of the internet her lifeline to a world that had retreated behind doors. The telecommute bore fruits she had not anticipated: safety from an invisible foe, the flexibility of blurred timelines, and the relinquishing of weary commutes for a few extra moments of slumber each morning. The challenges, however, were just as tangible: the solitude of isolation akin to a lighthouse keeper, the creeping tendrils of work seeping into the sanctum of home, and the initially unsettling quiet that came without the hum of colleagues. The mentor, Taylor, the remote work guru. In the days that followed, the winds of fate blew a guide into Alex's journey. Taylor, a seasoned remote work guru, whose tales of digital nomadism were woven with wisdom and strategies. With a lens of experience and spectacles of insight, Taylor became the Polaris in the dark night of Alex's transition to remote work. Alex, armed with a learner's mind, soaked in the knowledge imparted by Taylor. From the simple ritual of distinguishing pajamas from daywear to the art of calendaring blocks for deep work, her days began to find structure amidst the formless haze. The tools of the telecommuting trade, video calls that bridged the seas, collaborative platforms that turned solitary work communal, and digital task managers that held the whispers of office banter. Productivity, once the elusive butterfly, now perched gently on our hero's fingertips. The sensation of command over her time and projects washed over her like the first breath of spring, invigorating and pure. Yet the path was not without its thorns. The overwhelming choice of apps and softwares demanded a discernment she was yet to fully groom, and the metamorphosis from office dweller to home office warrior left its share of bruises. In the fabric of uncertainty, Alex's tale began to weave a pattern of hope and admonition, a delicate dance of an old world pirouetting into a new. The journey was just beginning, and the road twisted into horizons untold. With the early seeds of adaptation sown, Alex ventured deeper into the thicket of her work from home transition. The novelty of the remote work revolution that shimmered with promise now revealed its array of trials, each demanding a curious blend of courage and inventiveness. Trial by technology, virtual collaboration suite. In the heart of the labyrinth lay the trial by technology. Before her stretched a vast arsenal, a virtual collaboration suite, bristling with video conferencing filaments, cloud computing tendrils, and the project management mortar that promised to hold her team's unity intact across the digital divide. Alex, our voyaging hero, found herself piloting through these new seas with a mix of trepidation and awe. She deftly wielded the tools of Zoom for face-to-face interactions that spanned cyberspace, leaned on the reliability of cloud services for an omnipresent access to her digital life, and steered Asana to commandeer project trajectories. The result was a tapestry of minds linked not by locale but by will and Wi-Fi. Team collaboration didn't just survive, it thrived. Project efficiency soared, unhampered by the lack of physical proximity, a testament to the ingenuity ensconced in this suite of virtual togetherness. Yet, the behemoth of technology was not reined in easily. Tech issues arose like sirens, luring Alex into depths of frustration, while the plethora of tools sometimes spun a web of confusion a la Arachne herself. The cave, isolation. Lurking beyond the radiant allure of newfound proficiency was the cave, the daunting specter of isolation. Alex felt its chilly breath upon her neck as the initial euphoria wavered in its echo. Gone were the incidental coffee chats and impromptu brainstorm sessions that once punctuated her day with spontaneous joy. Yet, Alex would not yield to solitude's siren call. She found refuge and camaraderie within online professional networking groups. Here, Alex discovered a constellation of kindred spirits, each echoing her own journey, faces in squares linking stories and solutions across invisible threads. What emerged was not just a professional lifeline but a tapestry of shared human experience, rich with advice, empathy, and encouragement. In these forums, the candle of her professional enthusiasm was rekindled. The voices in her computer became her village, her sanctuary, her network. But even this beacon bore shades of gray. Time, that fickle currency, now demanded she balance engagement with her workload, lest these havens become labyrinths themselves. Belly of the whale, work-life imbalance. Deepest within the trials lay the belly of the whale, wherein the leviathan of work-life imbalance lurked, waiting to engulf Alex in its blurring maw. Her home, once an anchorage away from the demands of work, now became a battleground where personal life and professional duties vied for dominance. It was here she discovered a weapon of time herself, the Pomodoro technique. A disciplined regiment of dividing her day into focused intervals of endeavor punctuated by brief oceans of respite. 25 minutes, the time it takes for the Earth to rotate a fraction of a degree, became her focused universe. This technique coaxed forth a garden of productivity where once lay a wasteland of distraction. It crafted boundaries as formidable as the walls of Troy, protecting her personal life from the siege of work. Yet not all activities fit neatly within these confines. Some tasks rebelled against prescribed brevity, and some days chafed at the inflexibility of that relentless ticking timer. Through these trials, these episodes of self-discovery and evolution, our hero, Alex, crafted a new identity. With each conquered challenge, she was reborn, mindsight sharpened, resolve steeled, envisioning a future not just endured but mastered. The journey through the labyrinth of the remote work odyssey was far from complete, but the hero within began to awaken, ready for the transformations that lay beyond the horizon. In the crucible of trials, the character of our intrepid explorer, Alex, tempered and annealed, now approached the heart of her journey. Not through darkened forests or across mystic seas, but within the confines of her very psyche, she would brave the tempest of transformation and seek the grail of atonement with her new realm, the home office. The revelation, skills enhancement. Upon the shores of revelation, Alex stood, staring into the mirror of a swiftly evolving job market. To not just survive but thrive in this altered landscape, she needed to arm herself with fresh armament, cutting-edge skills forged in the fires of online learning platforms. Coursera became her university, LinkedIn Learning her lecture hall, and Udemy her workshop. Through each digital portal, her mind drank deep of knowledge streams that once seemed distant and obscure. She honed her expertise in digital marketing, mastered the art of data analytics, and wove new strands of network security into her bowstring. These digital schools were no mere indulgence, they were necessity's offspring in a job market that had been reborn. Her competencies grew as robust as the oaks of old, granting her not just personal growth but a blade sharp enough to carve her space in the competitive field. Still, the double-edged sword demanded its price, a tithe of time, and the challenge of a self-motivation furnace that needed constant stoking. The transformation, leadership adaptation. The torch of self-improvement also cast its illuminating blaze on the tapestry of leadership. As a steward of her team, Alex recognized the cry for a transformation, a baptism in the subtle waters of emotional intelligence training. She drank from these wellsprings of insight, learning to listen to unspoken words, to dance to the rhythm of her team's moral, and to lead, not from a throne of commands, but alongside as a bearer of shields. Through this journey, Alex evolved from a manager who directed to a leader who inspired. She learned the alchemy of empathy, turning the lead of misunderstanding into the gold of connection. Her team, once adrift in the digital tides, found their beacon in her, their odyssey an odyssey no more, not for the absence of storms, but for the presence of their helmswoman Alex, who steered with grace and resolve. Yet, no magic potion brewed permanent change. The path of enlightened leadership demanded constant vigilance and an openness to learning that must well from within. The atonement, acceptance of change. The atonement awaited at the zenith of her metamorphosis. In the quiet recesses of her home-turned fortress, between the chimes of notifications and the whisper of keystrokes, a profound acceptance of change began to blossom. Through mindfulness and wellness apps, her digital monks and sages, Alex nurtured serenity in the belly of the beast. Headspace granted her moments of peace amidst chaos, calm whispered lullabies to soothe the jitters of isolation. With each mindful breath and meditative pause, Alex found balance on a tightrope woven with threads of personal life and work. She uncovered the harmony possible within the new world's discord, and with that discovery, the chains of resistance shattered. Such disciplines of the mind were not without their pitfalls. They whispered promises of peace and delivered, but their power rested on the pillars of consistency. And while these apps were key in guiding one towards tranquility, they were but guides and not the journey's end, unable to stand as a replacement for professional care when winds howled too fiercely. As Alex emerged from Act 3 of her epic, she bore the marks of one reborn. The tapestry of her character now threaded with streams of fortitude, resilience, and a deep-seated peace with the reimagined fabric of her existence. Now, as she turned towards the final passages of her tale, she carried the wisdom and strength of her trials, prepared to return to her community a catalyst of transformation herself. The odyssey of our hero, Alex, now rounds to its conclusion. Like Odysseus approaching Ithaca, each step brings her closer to integration, of her newly hewn identity within the familiar walls of her domestic trove, of her work within the weave of personal life. But this close does not signify an end. Instead, it marks the commencement of a deepened existence and the start of a legacy to be bequeathed. The reward, work-life synergy. The first gleaming treasure of her trials, the reward, manifested as FlexTime, Alex's newfound elixir that reconciled the two worlds pulling upon her spirit. This golden principle of time sovereignty allowed her to sculpt her schedule to the contours of her life. Morning routines unfurled with tranquility. Dinner tables saw her presence more than her shadow. Work itself became a thing malleable, a clay she could mold around life's immutable moments. The result was a revelation. Job satisfaction escalated like a freed balloon towards blue skies. Personal relationships, once tinged with the hue of neglect, now blossomed in the light of attention. Of course, such an elixir required the alchemy of self-discipline. Without it, Flextime's magic withered. Additionally, the asynchronous nature of this tool meant that clocking in unison with her team was a melody less harmonized, a challenge that demanded its own dance. Mentorship. True transformation is not a vessel to be hoarded but a chalice to be shared, and thus Alex found herself at the precipice of her return with the elixir. From the islands of her self-exploration, she voyaged back with a peer-to-peer mentoring program clutched firmly in her grasp. Here, the once solitary navigator of remote work waters became the lighthouse. Alex, with her chronicles of trials and triumphs, extended her hand to the next echelon of home office heroes. Through structured mentorship, she shared her lore of digital tools, her mantras for self-care, illuminated the path around pitfalls she herself once stumbled upon. As she guided others, she saw her own reflection in their novitiate eyes, forging a collective mightier and more interconnected than any workforce bound by physical domain. Her success was a tapestry woven into the larger canvas, a skein that connected and strengthened all others it touched. Nonetheless, the mantle of mentorship wasn't without weight. It asked of Alex her time, a precious commodity, and beckoned her to be a student perennially, journeying alongside those she taught. Such is the way of true leadership, a path of endless horizons, perpetual growth. In the twilight of our tale, we see Alex not at an endpoint but at a vantage overlooking new beginnings. The skills and knowledge she had acquired transformed her into a wellspring of industry and inspiration. The trials she faced now served as guideposts for others, and her journey of transformation testified to the boundless potential within us all when we embrace the tides of change. With home and work enmeshed in delicate harmony, and her heart set to the rhythm of mentorship, Alex's story concludes, but the impact of her voyage ripples onward. As she closes her laptop with a satisfied smile and steps away from her desk, somewhere, another Alex is just opening theirs, embarking upon their own remote odyssey, guided by the stars our hero charted in her very own hero's journey of recovery. At the end of our sojourn with Alex, we stand at an observatory, gazing at the labyrinthine path she has traversed, a hero's journey of recovery not just through her work-from-home enterprise but the labyrinth of her own evolving essence. As the curtain falls upon Alex's transformational saga, we recognize that the tale we've unfurled is more than an isolated narrative. It mirrors a grander odyssey being charted by legions navigating the once uncharted waters of remote work. Alex's journey is emblematic of a resilience that is profoundly human, a stirring symphony of adaptability and perseverance serenading through the silence of change. Each character that graced her path with mentorship and camaraderie, from Taylor's sagely insights to the communal hearth of networking groups, stitched their wisdom into Alex's tapestry of growth. They are not mere footnotes but co-authors of a success that iridescently illustrates the unyielding courage and creative spirit pulsating in every one of us. Now, as we contemplate this narrative's fabric, we're reminded that Alex's story is not incarnated in her alone. It exists in the collective heartbeat of the innumerable voyagers sailing similar straits. Every remote worker is simultaneously captain and crew on their vessel, charting courses through digital domains, their triumphs and challenges reflecting the myriad shades of human experience. The mosaic they create enriches the heritage of our time, a vibrant tableau depicting the dawn of a new era where professional endeavors and personal aspirations seek harmony, not conflict. This odyssey does not belong to Alex alone, it belongs to each of us. We are all travelers, seekers, heroes in our own right, forging ahead in the great expanse of our lives, searching for meaning amidst new paradigms. As the boundary between office and abode blurs into new contours, we're invited to redefine the essence of our daily pursuits, to find joy and fulfillment within the flux. The fable of Alex is our collective reflection, a reminder that amidst the clamor of disruption, the human endeavor can reach symphonic heights. Her metamorphosis, punctuated by trials, tribulations, and eventual triumph, reassures us that each step forward, no matter how faltering, contributes to the grand chronicle of our shared human expedition. As the digital realm continues to weave an intricate network of remote collaborations, let us take with us the elixir that Alex discovered and disseminated, the strength to adapt, the courage to transform, and the wisdom to thrive. Let Alex's hero's journey be a beacon, illuminating the path for the heroes of tomorrow as they embark on their own quests for professional rejuvenation and personal rebirth in the vast, interconnected world of work from home.